Wait, Aalto's mid-air attacks are actually good? So I've been testing mid-air attacks with Aalto quite a bit, and it seems pretty strong. What's special about Aalto is his mid-air attack scaling is actually really high compared to other pistol users like Mortefi and Trisia. Now add in his sequence 3, which gives you a 50% damage bonus when you shoot through mist. It's kind of like shooting a shotgun instead of pistols, and the damage increase is really big. Now let's compare the two different playstyles, using mid-air attacks versus using purely basic attacks. On the left we have basic attacks only, and on the right we have mid-air attacks thrown in. Of course, since we're using mid-air attacks, it consumes some stamina. They seem to do about roughly 20% more damage in return though. Now let's talk about rotations. For Aalto's mid-air attacks, you want to make sure as far as possible you have each mid-air attack go through mist. This is a big damage boost if you have sequence 3, and even if you don't have it, it's also good to generate mist drops. I won't go into Aalto's mechanics deep in this video. I already did it in the previous video, a quick little guide for Aalto, which you can get to at the top right corner. Normally Aalto has 3 different ways of creating mist: his E, a dodge counter, or his 4th basic attack in his basic attack chain. But since we are using mid-air attacks, it's actually hard for us to generate mist through basic attacks. However, I found this neat trick, where if you use your mist cloak dash and basic attack when you exit, you instantly start using basic attack 3, and then you do one more basic attack to get 4 for the mist, and you also throw in basic attack 5 because it does a lot of damage. And then after that you continue your mid-air attacks. Now this all sounds pretty complicated, so I'll show you in detail in the next clip. First, use E to generate mist. You have enough time to launch about 7 mid-air attacks through it and then dash before it disappears. It's important to dash through the mist here, because this will make your next basic attack the 3rd one in the chain, and then your 4th one generates mist, which you can then use to do more mid-air attacks. Now this takes a lot of practice, because it's kind of hard to get used to the timing. Also, dashing through the mist when you're jumping gives you a really cool jumping mist cloak dash, which is pretty satisfying too, and nice to look at. So here's an example of a rotation in battle. You first mid-air attacks, do a dash, now repeat, and repeat. Try to use your E when it's out because it's free mist generation and free damage. If you accidentally run out of mist, you can just go back to basic attacks first, or dodge counter, and then use it to jump back into mid-air attacks again. If you start running out of stamina, you can always swap to other characters, or just use basic attacks. I didn't use my ultimate here, but you can always weave in your ultimate at the start, so that your auto attacks do more damage. Now let's look at the pros and cons of mid-air attacks. In general, they do more damage. Also, they're easier to scale, because both mid-air attacks count as basic attack damage bonus. In a normal basic attack combo, you use mist bullets more, and those scale off resonant skill damage. So if you use this rotation, you can just focus on getting basic attack damage bonus, or even characters like Sanhua, whose outro skill buffs your basic attack damage amplified. If you pair her with the Moonlit Cloud set, she gives an even bigger buff to Aalto. That said, the pure basic attack rotation is definitely easier to do, so if you don't want to get into all these mid-attack stuff, just using pure basic attacks is also fine. So that's all for this video. If I find any new cool stuff about Aalto, I'll be sure to update you guys. This is one thing I really like about Wuthering, that combat is really deep and I feel like there's a lot of things you can discover the more we play. If you liked the video, do like and subscribe below. Then I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!